Before getting in this video, I do want to say that these tips might not work for everybody, but I just wanted to give some of the things that, well, some of the tips that I have learned and I have been trying to stick to throughout these years with saving money when it comes to grocery shopping. Grocery shopping is just as expensive as paying a gas and light bill. Some families are even paying the same amount of money they spend on groceries, they're paying with rent or a mortgage, depending on the size of your family. So I totally get how food is just super expensive. So I really hope these tips help you guys out. First tip I have, and this is something that I'm looking forward to doing when we move into our new house soon, and that is to grow your own veggies, herbs, or fruit. Now, unfortunately, we live in an area where there's more winter than summer. So I will have maybe 3 months of growing our own veggies and herbs, but I will take it. That's 3 months of us saving some money, and I'm hoping to grow some lettuce, rosemary, tomatoes, some other things that are easy to grow. And if you live in a warmer climate, then this is great for you, especially when it comes to the easy things to grow like scallions and lettuce. They just grow so fast and really well. So by growing your own herbs, fruit, and veggies, you can cut those items from your grocery list because you won't have to buy them because you grew your own. I have seen quite a few family members do this. Around the fall time, my partner's mom has an apple tree in her yard, and we will always go there and just, start picking a bunch of apples and bringing them back home. I think it's also nice, when you grow something and you consume it yourself, it's a feeling of proudness. The one thing that I grew regarding food is scallions one time. Oh, and also beans. I grew kidney beans, and it was so nice to consume the things that you grew. And again, it's a proud feeling. So I'm very excited to be doing that, especially when it comes to herbs. I would love to grow lavender, rosemary, sage. I would love to grow some of those easy herbs because I use them a lot, especially with the lavender, lavender lemonade. So easy to make, simple to grow. Yeah, I could go on and on about this topic because I have a huge green thumb, and now that we have a yard, I'm so excited to get my hands dirty in the dirt and start growing a nice little garden for us so we don't have to keep buying fresh produce in the summertime. This one is common sense, but I wanted to mention it because I also make mistakes at the grocery store with this one, and that is to only buy what you truly need. I have talked about this before, but I have a really big sweet tooth, and when I go to the grocery store, there's times where I'm like, give me the cookies, give me the cupcakes, put them in the cart, and let's run. Try my best these days to take a step back and think wait, I'm here for tofu, potatoes, I'm here for our main food items that we use for lunch and dinner and breakfast. Why am I buying cupcakes and cookies and things like that? That's not a main food item. That's a little treat. What I do now to help with my sugar cravings is I will look for things that are individually packaged. So I will buy one cookie while I'm at the store instead of buying a bunch of things that I don't need. So by doing this, not only am I making healthier choices, but I'm also saving money, which is great because a lot of those little treats, even chips, we don't buy chips for this house unless it's a cookout we're having with summertime, but we try not to buy chips, those kind of snacks, because what we try to do is we try to make cautious decisions budget-wise and also with our health. When we were buying chips, we were buying 3 to 4 bags of chips because chips are those kind of those snacks where you just keep going and going and going. It's you never ever get full from them. So that's something that we completely cut out of our main grocery list. Now, when we want a snack, whether we're watching a movie or something, I will peel an apple, cut it, and then put some cinnamon on it, maybe a little bit of agave, and that will be our snack. So we try to stick with things that are not only cheaper, but healthier, and that makes sense for our diet. So overall, try to stick with things that you truly need for your household and not quick snacks that aren't going to fill you up. They're going to fill you with a bunch of sugar, and just you're going to want more and more and more of that. So you're going to keep spending more money. Speaking of things that you need, make sure you stick to your list. So this is something that I had to keep learning over and over again. There's times where I used to find myself going through the list and then like going to like an opposite aisle of the list. And I think we all fall into that sometimes, where like the packaging of some food gets you, even though it's not on your list. You're like, oh well, this will do. My biggest advice is stick to your list, because your list is your roadmap of getting in and out of the store. Especially with the grocery stores, the way that the grocery stores are laid out, they're specifically laid out for you to waste your money. We try to stick with like fresh produce first, and then whatever's not fresh, like ketchup, mayo, things like that, we will go to a different aisle. And usually it's like the organic aisle next to the fresh produce for us, because we do live a plant-based lifestyle, so it's pretty easy. But then there's some times where we need a couple frozen items, so that's all the way at the end of the store. So you have to go through all the snacks, all the goodies, in order to get to the frozen aisle. So it is hard sometimes to like go through all of these aisles and like want to get off of your list and buy things that aren't there that you wrote down, and that's how you waste money. So it's like you start off with a budget, but then you end up going over budget. So try to stick to your list. Another quick way to save money with groceries is to start freezing things. Freezing things can prolong the shelf life. For an example, I will buy 2 loaves of sourdough bread. I'm not the best at making sourdough bread. Maybe when we move and we have like a gas oven, I can start to be a little bit more creative with that. I've tried numerous times here and it comes out so gummy. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Trial and error with bread. Anyways, I will buy 2 loaves of the California sourdough bread from Trader Joe's, because it's super cheap. I think it's like $3 a loaf. And what I do is like I freeze them. So I freeze those 2 loaves, even though the date of the loaves say best by like 2 days from now, they'll expire. And then of course like mold grows on them. So you're saving yourself from food waste by freezing things. So I will freeze those 2 loaves, and if we need a slice of bread, we'll open one bag, take out a slice of bread. It's very easy to like pop out a frozen slice of bread, and you can defrost it in the microwave and toast your bread on the stovetop. It's super simple. We do this also with pita bread. We buy frozen broccoli because it lasts longer than fresh broccoli. For plátano, well, plantain, I'm so used to saying plátano in my house, but for plantains, I like to cut them, peel them, and then freeze them. Super easy. Same thing when it comes to yuca, when it comes to frito, like things like that. I cook a lot of Dominican meals in my house because my partner is Dominican. So there's a lot of items that I'm able to freeze, and it just saves us so much money, so much time, and a lot of unnecessary food waste. So if there's some items that you are constantly buying due to wasting them, such as say you don't eat the whole bag of kale in a week, you can freeze it and you can make smoothies with it. You can even add frozen kale to soup. I have done that before and it works out perfectly fine. So there's so many items that you can freeze. You can even like search online, can I freeze this? And obviously like online will tell you yes you can for this amount of months. Just by freezing things in general can save you so much money. Our freezer is more packed than our main fridge because of us trying to save money and reduce our food waste. And the last tip that I have for you guys is to shop in season. Now, I've talked about this in the past, and obviously online makes it so much easier. Shop in season by your area. So for an example, in the fall time, what's in season is apples. If you're in Massachusetts or on the East Coast, apples are fairly cheap around the fall time here because they're in season. Now, with it being March or April, I personally do not purchase watermelon or anything like that because it's so damn expensive in our area. Same thing with strawberries. Like, these items are not in season, so you're paying more of an arm and a leg for them. And the taste is not the same either. I notice when I buy things out of season, they taste like they're out of season. They taste very watered down and not as juicy as to when they are in season. So try to stick to things that are in season. Also, when it comes to fall time, I buy a lot of pumpkin, a lot of squash. Not only is it in season, but most of the time those in-season items are on sale. So you're technically getting like 2 discounts. You're getting the discount because it's in season, and then you're also getting the discount sometimes when it's on sale, like they want to get rid of their produce. The list goes on and on when it comes to in-season items, not in-season items. And this doesn't go for like all fruit. Again, some fruit still tastes fine in the winter months, even though they're not produced in winter months. But you do have to pay the hefty price tag. Like they go up in price because it's not in season. So you can go on Pinterest and you can look up like what's in season, or you can go on Google. I always do this. Like even if I'm at the store, there'll be something that like, oh, this was on my list. Is this in season? Can I get it cheaper somewhere else? That's another like quick little tip, is to check if there's any other stores around you, if they have that certain item cheaper. For an example, we were getting almond milk or cashew milk. We were getting it from Whole Foods and it was like $6. And I told my partner, there's got to be somewhere else that's cheaper. Like this is a very popular brand. And sure enough, we went to Market Basket and they were selling it for $2.99. That goes to show. Make sure you're doing your research also with the stores that you're going to. We usually shop at Market Basket. Now we usually shop at Stop and Shop, Trader Joe's. Those are like my favorite stores to go to these days. I do go to Whole Foods sometimes, but not as much as I used to. I feel like Whole Foods quality and their prices, they don't match. Like the prices are high, but the quality is like here. If the quality could go back to here and match the price, it might be worth it. Anyways, not to take too much of your time, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know down below, what are you doing these days in order to save money with your grocery bill?